What's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you another project that I am bullish on, I have high hopes for, and for me I look at it like it's a low or relatively low risk option that's out there but has great potential. It's not a project that I'm bringing to you that has got little history or it's got not much information known around it, or it's a new space. This project is simply a decentralized exchange on the Avalanche network. Many of the decentralized exchanges that we've seen have seen a great increase in their market cap in the last 12 to 18 months, whether that's PancakeSwap, whether that's SushiSwap. Any of the decentralized exchanges have seen an amazing growth. But this one is on the Avalanche network, which I'm super bullish on its own. So if that's the case and Avalanche will succeed long term, it means that people will need to use a decentralized exchange on Avalanche and will need to use something to buy things on Avalanche that are built on Avalanche. So without further ado, let's have a dive into one of my favorite tokens for 2022, Trader Joe. So here we are with the Joe token. As you can see, we're currently trading at $1.43. We've got all of the contract information here, the website, Twitter, Discord, and obviously, as you can see, it's part of the Avalanche ecosystem. The thing that I like, obviously, is there's a cap supply at $500 million. It's useful to have something like that because you know that they're not just going to keep printing, and overall that would lead to a ton of dilution. It's currently got a market cap of 236 million. So it's large. That's what I mean. It's not a new project. It's been around for a while. It's got the legs behind it already. If we have a look at the long-term price chart, it actually listed early August. So it's been around for about 8 months now. Obviously, we saw a big spike up. These are probably aligned to pretty much exactly where Bitcoin topped off. And then we've seen a bit of a price correction. But for me, I was buying from around here and just kept buying the dip as such because I like what they're doing. I like what they're offering. I like what the opportunities are, and we'll go into some of the other things in terms of staking and things like that. But there's no reason why this can't trade at a multiple of what it is today. I think it could easily get to $5 and higher. I can expect it to get to $10 at some point. But for me, I look at this as a long-term investment. I'm looking at the 5-10 year horizon. If we have a look at the overall market, though, these are the decentralized exchanges. So you've got Uniswap, obviously, is the biggest one at 5.7 billion. We've got Pancake at 2.2. Sushi's at just under 1 billion. And you've got some other ones as well in between. But it just gives you an idea of some of the bigger ones that have been obviously adopted and the ones on Ethereum. Binance Smart Chain is obviously the PancakeSwap has got a lot of use, well, a high usage at the moment. So that's what I think this can reach as well. So there's no reason why we can't get to that $1 billion plus market capital. And that's what I look at these things and I try and map out where this might sit compared to other project journeys, because we have to be realistic about what the long-term prospects are. It doesn't matter whether something's trading at $1 or $15. If the realistic market capital is what it's trading at today and it's 236 billion, then we don't want to buy it. It's as simple as that. But we have to make realistic investment decisions based on what we think the long-term potential is, and it's based on Avalanche, what's our view of the Avalanche network and what it's going to become. And I'm really bullish about what it's going to offer for metaverse and gaming. But in terms of the decentralized exchange that I think will support that, there are a couple. And Trader Joe is the biggest of them. The other one, I don't know whether it's even on this list, Pangolin, is 32 million. So again, a fraction of what Joe is trading at, which is 236. So it's about an eighth of the price, if that. So yeah, there's a long time frame that I'm looking at this. But let's actually dive into both the documentation and the actual site itself. So if we have a look here, we've got Trader Joe. In terms of founded there, you can see June 2021. So obviously they probably did something before they listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. But obviously it's attracted 4 billion in assets already, which is incredible in such a short space of time. And this is great. It's got a lot of information on it, so I'd really recommend reading through this. And obviously they go into about what they're trying to do, and it's quite interesting. I really like the simplistic branding around it. It's interesting what you've got with a lot of these crypto projects is the branding is really, really basic and cartoony a lot of the time. And it's kind of a mockery on the traditional banking systems, but who cares? Who cares if the protocol and the project's actually doing something that's beneficial and useful for us as consumers? Who cares what the branding looks like, whether it's cartoony or whether it's something corporate? So yeah, there's a ton of information here. The vision to set out to serve a community at the frontier of DeFi by innovating and building fast, and most importantly, building securely. The ultimate goal is to build a trading platform that provides users with a one-stop shop DeFi experience. So you've got the swap, stake, farm, lending, borrow, and leverage all under one roof. And I think that's the thing that they're trying to sell. Similar to, I guess, your Pancake Swap, where they've got a ton of offering on there, and they've got a lot more information here. So if you wanted to trade, the liquidity pools, yield farming, a bit more information on what all of these things mean and what you actually get out of it. So you've got the farmers market where you've got double rewards. You've got the Joe and the token, and then you've got no Joe farms, which is just the token, and then you've got the other farms, which you get the rewards in Joe. So there are a ton of things. Really dive into this, look into what the options are, and find out what's going to work best for you. I always think it's important to find a balance between the rewards and the risks, because there's no point putting your money into a liquidity pool that offers 1 billion% if the price of one of the underlying assets is going to tend towards zero, and overall you're going to deteriorate the value of the pool. Let me just go back into the CoinGecko tab again, and as you can see, there's a few places you can buy it at the moment. You can buy it on Trader Joe itself, so if you have got any AVAX on your wallet, so if you've got a MetaMask or any other wallet, you can transfer it using Avalanche C-Chain. Once you've got the AVAX on the C-Chain, you can buy Joe on the actual Trader Joe website. So if I just open that right now, you can have a look at that. But obviously, as you can see here as well, you can buy it on Binance. That's what I did. I bought it on Binance, sent it straight over. So that's probably the easiest way. If you have got a Binance account, you can buy it on there and just send the Joe straight over to your MetaMask address. So again, all you do here is select Joe, select whatever you want to buy. You'd use your AVAX, let's say 10 AVAX, and all of this information will populate. For whatever reason, this is not doing what it's meant to at the moment, but that's fine. In terms of, obviously, once you've bought your Joe, the interesting thing is you've got a couple of options here. Okay, now it's finally populating. So approximately one AVAX buys you just short of 60 Joe at the moment. Once you've bought your Joe, you would simply go over to this if you wanted to stake, of course. So you'd stake your Joe, you put your 60 Joe in here, and your 60 Joe would be approximately 40 something, 46 or so XJOE. And what does that mean? So over time, as you can see over here, for every swap on Joe, a 0.05% fee is collected to XJOE, and it's used to buy back the Joe token. So as it goes on, one XJOE is worth more Joe as you go on. So you're staking in this pool, and it doesn't necessarily show you that you're increasing your amount of XJOE, but your XJOE is worth more Joe when you unstake. So it collects and compounds the rewards as you hold it in the staking. And currently buybacks are going on every 24 hours, as you can see here. And the beauty of it is it's continuously compounding, so you can get a ton of rewards from this, and you don't have to worry about pressing a compound button. If we go here to the farm, you can go lower, and you've got this section over here where you've got your XJOE. So you then farm or stake your XJOE. So whatever you've got from this section, you put it into here, and you get this additional reward of 17.1%. 35% and 17% would give you an approximate return annually of 57%, which is not bad at all. Not bad at all, especially on a token that I think is pretty safe in terms of what it's offering and what the price is going to do going forward. So that's why I'm bullish. That's why I think it's a really great option. And at the end of the day, if I can stake and get additional rewards, it helps me to lower my cost base. And that's what we want to do, is minimize our risk, but maximize our reward. We've got these other sections here as well. You can lend any of these assets, you get a return on it. You get your APY. If you want to borrow, you can borrow as well. And again, it's here to be an all-in-one shop as such. And then you've also got this section here, the launches. So you can basically acquire new issue tokens, and then this all comes up here. So for example, you've got some of this one that's coming up live over here. You would deposit your AVAX, and then you would receive Heroes of NFT. And then the only other thing I wanted to show you is the pools. So this is where you can, again, get additional rewards. So they've got 22% APR, but let's see what the biggest APR return is, 160%. But you always want to see what the assets are within the liquidity pools. So for example, if I'm looking at something that's going to be moving in the same direction, that's what I'd be trying to identify as something like a Joe AVAX could be interesting. This one here, Joe AVAX, 8.3%, hasn't got a ton of liquidity in them. Actually, there's a ton of liquidity in there, but it's not that much fees being collected at the moment. But again, it's a relatively safe one, just because I'd expect both of them to trade in quite a linear price. Like, I don't expect it to be moving too much, so it's just another option of maximizing your returns. So look into it. It's a great project. I love what they're doing. I think there's a lot more stuff to come. As you can see, the launch platform possibly should be having a lot more going forward, so keep an eye on it, see what happens, and stay tuned.